Right, welcome back. This is Kazi special edition. Today we are looking at the impact of COVID-19 and the measures of the government to curb its spread on the hotel industry. Remember that you can tweet us on KAKTV_Kenya and on our Facebook page, KAKTV Kenya. We're back at the Bamboo Cask Lounge in Sarina Hotels. And our guest, but our host tonight, is Dan Njenga. Dan, before we went on the break, we talked about the ripple effect of the measures of the government to try and curb the spread.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the licenses that are existing. You people applied for licenses to operate for maybe 12 months in advance. And now here you're being asked to apply for a new permit. I mean, what about these licenses that are pre-existing?
That is one of our issues with the government or the Ministry of Health right now. Because as it is, we had already paid for licenses to trade. You know, there is a trade license, there is food hygiene. I think they should have just limited this to just testing of the staff and also observing the other guidelines, like the distancing and all that. But in terms of having to pay another charge for a permit, we are finding it a bit awkward because the government is trying to revive the economy.
Yeah.
But we are having to shoulder every other charge.
Yeah.
There is testing that is not very cheap. There is that permit. You know, and if you ask me, the government should have scrapped the permit fee, and they should also have shouldered the burden of getting our staff tested in the government institutions that are testing for free. By so doing, we would have been able to open our restaurants, recall our staff, and, you know, just try and participate in this situation of trying to revive the economy. And for that reason, the government has done a good thing to say that we should reopen. But I can tell you for free, very few establishments will open. In fact, I've talked to a few of my friends, and they have calculated the cost and said it doesn't make sense to open. Because if we open, the landlord will come knocking for his rent, right?
Yeah.
You have employees that you have already committed to come back and work. If you don't get that business, you still have to pay them, right?
Yeah.
The timelines are not conducive for business. 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. I mean, 4 p.m. is when people are getting out of the office to come maybe and enjoy dinner and a drink, then head home. But that time, we have already closed.
You closed down business.
Yeah.
What's the operational cost of an establishment like yours? The daily operational cost of such an establishment?
The daily operational cost is very high because there is electricity, right? There is water. There is security has to be there. So the cost is high. Yeah.
So looking at that cost, and you people are reopening at this juncture, that business is not doing well, there's that curfew. How possible is it going to be for you people to be able even to shoulder the operational cost? Their daily operational cost?
Yeah, the operational costs are high, but as I told you, the Kenyan spirit, we are optimistic that when we reopen, people are tired of staying at home. People want to just venture out, go somewhere they can relax and meet friends, because you cannot invite friends in your own house.
Yes. Sure.
You cannot meet anywhere with your friend. So this is a good, you know, even dealing with the psychological trauma that is coming with the COVID-19. This is actually a very bold and positive move by the government. because people now will be able to, have meetings, and of course, observing the social distancing,
And of course,
and
it's going to try and relax the tension.
relax the tension, Yeah, so it's a good move.
On the positive side.
On the positive side,
it is
it's a good move. People will be able to venture out and, discuss new options of doing business, because these are trying times, different times. Things are very different from the way they used to be. Life is not normal anymore. Things are different. You know what it is. I have never imagined a situation in Kenya that everyone is on a face mask. Everyone is a suspect, including your own family members. You have to keep that social distance. These are very interesting times. I think the government has done a very good thing to reopen restaurants and all that. Maybe what I would ask, if the government can, if not lifting the curfew hours, they can extend maybe to at least 9 p.m. for this reopening to make
sense.
Business sense. Because as it is right now, it is trial and error. But we are optimistic.
That is the point. Then what is the engagement between you? I know you have an association as the hoteliers and hotel owners around. Has the government tried to engage with you people as stakeholders in the industry so that you come up with a way of trying to balance the equilibrium from their side and your side?
Actually, that has been the problem with the government for the longest time. Public engagement is never done by government. They just go sit in their round tables and boardrooms, make policies, then these policies are just brought down to the business people or the public without their participation, right? Then there is always a different interpretation by the government officers enforcing these policies.
Let's talk about now, the government has at least given a leeway for business to get up and running. So what is in there for the hotels, the cooperative, the owners of these businesses? How do they take advantage of this opportunity and try to work around the situation? If you were to advise your fellow hotel owners.
To reopen, not to make profit, but for continuity. This is not a time that you're looking to make profit, but this is a time to show your patrons that you care about them. Yes, I'm not making profit, but you can come and have a meal at my establishment. And when things get back to normal, these are the same people you expect to support you. So for continuity purposes, just try and follow the Ministry of Health guidelines and open your restaurant.
For continuity purposes.
For continuity purposes, even if you don't break even, but for continuity purposes, it is important that we reopen our establishments.
Actually, that's the best note for us to put a stop on tonight's conversation about hotel and COVID-19. But again, you can continue giving your thoughts, sharing your thoughts on our Twitter handle, KAKTV_Kenya. Our Facebook page is KAKTV Kenya. Tonight's show has been filmed on location at the Bamboo Cask Lounge and Sirona Getaway at Parklands, hosted by the one and only director, Dan Njenga. I've been your host, Vincent Kirosi. See you next week and good night. Bwana Njenga, I can't wait for Bamboo, for that nice chicken.